Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Service Rocket Summit. We are live here doing our first podcast of the day. We are going to be rolling through these all day long. I'm super excited. We're starting off hot with Amanda Triolo, Grasshopper, and her first executive hire, which I definitely want to get into that a little bit, Kelly as well. And so, Amanda, do you want to introduce Kelly? Because I've barely met her.
Yes, this is Kelly. She's an absolute badass. So I'll let her talk about her background, but she was our first executive hire in June, and her sole purpose at the company is to get us to lay the roadmap to get us from where we're at now to 100 million plus, and she's got all the skills to get us there.
Absolutely. Well, met with Amanda back in June, and it was serendipity is what I'll call it. And I come from a pretty strong business background, growing divisions, and sat with Amanda and asked her, what was your vision? Where are you going? You know, I'm in the Capital District where she's at, and I was able to see that Grasshopper is just on fire. And met with her, and we came up with a good business plan that we both bought into, and we are moving forward in a very fast direction. So with my experience and with Amanda and her vision and her experience, we're going to be taking it over.
I love it. So 100 million.
Yep.
Kind of a small goal, I think, but
you know what? I agree. I agree. I think it is kind of a small goal. I think that we will well exceed.
So I guess when are you hitting 100 million by? Because I'm very curious on that. Because if you don't have a goal with a deadline, then it's just a dream. So
I'll let Kelly speak on that one.
That is our 5-year plan.
5 years.
Yes.
Love it. And that was your goal, Amanda?
Absolutely. You know, my goal, to be very transparent, is every single month here has surprised me. And so my goal was a bit more PG than 100 million. And then when you start meeting with CFOs, budgets for marketing and really a marketing growth plan, Kelly leading the roadmap and the foundation, it's very easy to see now that should be well within our range.
Very attainable.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we'll get there.
What's the secret sauce in business? To surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, right? So
success leaves clues.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. And that is exactly what we're doing right now, right? So we found each other, and now it's about finding all of the right players to come in and support our vision and goal.
Amazing.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Amazing. How did you find Kelly?
This is a funny story. I was supposed to build a facility, buy land, build a facility, make it the Grasshopper HQ. The bank said, look, we're going to approve this, but we want you to take the weekend to think on it because we believe strongly that you are going to outgrow the space before you think that you're even going to. So I met with my leadership team. I said, look, the bank just sat me down and said this. We can get going today. We're already going to be behind schedule. Our current lease is up the end of June. And they're like, yep, we agree. We're going to outgrow it. We shouldn't do that. So it was an immediate pivot plot twist to now find a space to lease. But we had this whole plan. The drawings were done, permits. I mean, it was crazy. And then Kelly was referred to me by an employee within my company, and I ignored her for a little while. So that's the one.
She played hard to get.
Yeah. So, the bank's like, oh, we use this realtor. She's really good. Or, hey, there's this realtor. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to find my own spot. Because that's how I am. I'm like, I'm going to find it. Don't worry about a realtor. So finally, it's like February and I'm not finding anything. So I'm like, all right, I'll answer this, Kelly. So I answered her and I met her and I was like, oh my gosh, she really has her shit together. Why have I been ignoring her, And it was like she came prepared. She knew all the answers to everything. She asked me all the right questions. And then the key ingredient to me is communication sometimes. Sometimes I get so busy that I'm not the best at responding to text messages or emails. I'm not proud of it. It's a growth. I need to grow at it.
So how big is your inbox unread messages?
My inbox on unread is good.
Okay.
I read them and then I get busy and I forget to respond. So the truth comes out. I do read your messages, so I know what you're saying to me. I just forget sometimes. Right. I'm really sorry about that. But I finally answered. We went down that path. So long story, she always stayed 2 steps ahead of me. And nobody's ever been able to do that.
Right.
Nobody I've ever been able to do business with, interact with, grow with has ever stayed ahead of me. And she stayed ahead of me the entire transaction, the lease, dealing with the landlord, the construction aspect of it, permits with the town, even sign variances that we had to go get. She was with me, guiding me every step of the way with that stuff. It's not anything I ever thought somebody would be able to do. So I'll let Kelly speak on the outside of the box text message that I got. It was out of the blue. I was just talking to my leadership coach. I just put a Facebook post up about this too. I was talking to my leadership coach. I'm like, this is the person that I need. I need them now. Where am I going to find somebody to this caliber? I'm not going to. Maybe I should look for them on LinkedIn. And he's like, well, he gives me growth work. So instead of homework, we call it growth work. And it's stuff that I need to work on in the next 2 weeks before I meet with him again. And that was part of my growth work. And then the very next morning, I opened my phone to a text message from Kelly, and it was one of those, oh my gosh, what does this mean? I don't know what it means, but I'm excited. I have no idea what this message means, but I'll let Kelly talk about the text message.
Yep. So that evening, I was just thinking about different, things. I'm finishing up getting my MBA, and I'm like, what am I getting my MBA for? And somehow Amanda popped into my head, right? Because I'm helping her with this real estate transaction, and absolutely loved her energy, loved her business vision that I didn't even really know the details about. I just knew she was going in the right direction, right? And so with getting my MBA, that was all about, all right, I'm going to go vet a smaller company. I have all the tools and many years of knowledge in business of growing divisions, and saying, okay, I want to take that, work with a company that I can resonate with and believe in their values, and her values are amazing, believe in her vision, and then take that and build the company with someone, right? And have that partnership. So with that, we just, I texted her and said, hey, I'm just sitting here thinking, wanted to talk to you about your business. Do you want to grab a cup of coffee, get some lunch or whatever? And I had no idea where it was going either. So it wasn't just her not knowing, it was me too. Yeah. And so when I say that it was serendipity, it truly was.
Right.
So we went to lunch that day.
Yep, that day.
We went to lunch that day, and that very next day, right? Because it was in the evening that I had texted you. And we sat down, had lunch, and from there it was, I've seen her every day since. Yeah.
So we sat, and it's like,
we got someone popping on here.
Look at these beautiful ladies. Hey, these are badass women, baby. That's what it's all about. We're excited.
Yeah.
Excited to see these Canadians here too.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know how they got through the border, but we're all good.
It took a lot of grease in the wheels. One thing that, like you mentioned, and it's neat because actually you and I yesterday when we first chatted about that, I heard you guys' team go hop with a big shot when you guys got into the room in Vegas, and you didn't really know her that well, but you knew the direction and the culture that she was going in. And I think that's an important piece because what you've been able to build and what you've been able to do, and I was mentioning this to you yesterday too, is that culture is everything. Yeah. Direction is everything. People are everything. And when you can get buy-in to your ultimate vision, your team rallies behind you.
Right.
Rallies behind the company, rallies behind everything that you want to do, and they're excited for you. And they are then also excited for the company. When they become excited for the company, now those obstacles become a lot less because they're buying into that. Is there anything specific that you think you've done to be able to help create that energy and create that culture?
I think it comes down to something really simple, and it's just the word care.
Right.
My whole team knows that I genuinely, truly care about them. And my goal is to have them show up to work every day and love their job and love what they do, and to be able to help create the environment where life change occurs and take heating and cooling out of it. That is the sole purpose of what I do and what Grasshopper does. Yes, it's to serve our community, and yes, it's our clients and in the process and getting the experience down, right? But it is creating opportunities that change lives for our people.
Right. I like that. And caring is such a good thing to be able to do for everyone, right? When people don't know how much what's that saying? I'm going to butcher this.
You don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
There we go. Thank you, man. That's covering my bases on that one. And I'm not even the hungover one today. There we go.
Well, and a quote that I always loved was, how do you spell love? It's Time.
Yep.
Right? are you putting in the time into
Yeah.
your people?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, since we are at the event, I know we traditionally go for like an hour on our show, and I want to try to keep these to 10 to 15 minutes. But being two badass women in the industry, talking to other women who want to get into the industry and business in general, and the business side of being a woman, what sort of advice do you have for them?
Take the fact that you're a woman out of the equation and just go get it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's simple.
100%.
Don't
Yeah.
focus on being a woman in a man's industry. Come up with your goal, come up with what you want to set out to accomplish, and just go get it.
Nice. It's actually funny. We were chatting with Stephanie Gorton last night from the Inner Guy about that, and Eric, their president, and she said the exact same thing. Yep.
That's it. You
Okay.
can't focus on if this one's going to respect you or this one didn't give you the time of day or people are looking down on you. It happens, and I'm sure it does happen, but you cannot focus on that.
Yeah.
You focus on that, then you're taking your focus off the goal.
Absolutely.
Keeping your eye on the prize.
That's it.
I like that answer.
At the end of the day, what you focus on expands, right?
Yep.
And if all you're focused on is what do I don't have, or people aren't treating me right, or this and that, right? Like I said, it's taking your eye off the prize, taking your eye off the goal. Focus on what it is that you truly do want.
Yeah, we don't talk about being, our executive team is made up of women right now. I mean, I'm sure as we evolve, that's going to change, but the dynamic of the company is we never talk about being two women being in executive positions in the industry. It's not a conversation ever had in our company because it's totally irrelevant to what we're doing.
Right. Well, and it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. It's just, do you have the skills necessary to be able to do the job, right?
Yep.
I think back to another company that we used to work at, and some of the hiring things that we did. We didn't care what color your skin was, whether you're a male or female, what you identified as. We just wanted to hire the best people for the position.
Right.
And when you hire the best people for the position, you naturally get a diverse organization because you're just wanting the best. In your case, it just happens to be an awesome powerhouse of women that you're surrounding yourself with. And it's also probably a unique skill set for your guys' business to be able to look at it from a completely different spectrum. But then when you add that guy into the mix, it's now going to increase that even more because you're going to get them that are the best people for that particular role.
Right?
Yep.
Well, we definitely can't wrap this up without talking about your office. Because holy shit, this space is fire. It is so cool. I love the tour that Ian did.
Yes.
The HR guy, when he walked around there, that was
He
amazing.
stole my thunder on the tour. I still got to put out a tour video.
Yeah.
No, we love Ian. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's amazing. We need to have him back on the show, by the way.
Yes.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, so intelligent.
Yeah.
Smart,
So
smart.
intelligent.
And he puts fun in HR, which I didn't think was possible.
Yeah.
No, and he keeps
That
your
is true.
mindset where
Yeah.
you need to keep your mindset as an owner or an operator while giving you the tools that you need to make sure, hey, you need to know this to keep you on the right track,
Yep.
Right.
So, great guy.
Amazing guy. Dream behind the office, vision behind the office. Where did it come from? The design of it, the layout of it. What was the goal behind it? Because most guys just put together an office that's just kind of there. It's a place for people to
That is not
gather,
the
grab
case.
their shit, and get
Yeah.
out, right? So
Yeah,
why,
that was-
why did you put so much effort into it?
Why? We are a small, fast-growing company in a space where there's a lot of companies that have been around 40, 60, 80, 100 years. And our brand is extremely loud and vibrant. And the sole purpose of the new space and making it come to life was how do we take the outside appearance of this company and bring it to life and make it so fun, inspiring, motivating, and just a creative space where people are amazed when they walk in here.
Right.
It's a recruiting tool. It's a spot where our people love to come to work. They have a blast there. They have fun. I have Facebook trolls that comment on my Facebook post saying, are all these people on the clock? Yep, they sure are. And if you are the one that commented that, you might be what's wrong with your company.
Oh,
I'm a
Amanda
little
spitting
bitter about the
fire.
comment. That's it.
Right? Yeah.
But the space, I joke that I'm not an interior designer and I do not have that skill at all.
I disagree.
I did design the entire space. Dan put the wall wraps together for me with the vision of what I wanted, which you can't really tell from photos, but all the wall wraps have the under photos of our company is the background of the wall wraps.
Yeah.
And it's our people that are making up the walls and the space. And then the turf floor brings the Grasshopper brand to life, of course, and it's making it fun, exciting, and vibrant. Like
was
the
there
wow
any-
factor.
So when you design the space yourself, and I listened to this in one of the books I'm listening to right now, Scaling Up, and they talk about how you actually design the office and the psychology that goes in behind it.
Yeah.
So what sort of did you look at any of that, or you're like, hey, this just looks fun, and you kind of stumbled upon it, or did you actually have some some components of it that you knew in the way that you need to organize it, that people would naturally bump into each other and create that culture? Or is it just
I didn't read anything. So I was just talking to Evan about this. I'm an INTJ, right?
right?
And so I am one of those people that has to be able to feel inspired in a creative space in an environment where I am working.
Right.
If I lack that, then I lack most productivity. I cannot function. I cannot brainstorm. That's why sometimes previously at our old office, I'd have to go work at a coffee shop and remove myself from an element where I could go and feel re-inspired somewhere else, because that's just, I'm an introvert. That's where I function best, right? And so I tried my best to be able to accomplish bringing the creative space dynamic to where other people would feel inspired and have that creative aspect when they would come to work.
Nice. I like that. Yep.
And she 100% achieved that.
Yep.
I always say that when we're in this space, I'm like, you would never even know this was an HVAC company unless you walk through the warehouse door.
Right.
Yep.
Love it.
That's the goal.
All right. So as we wrap up, one final question here, and it's not our last question that we normally do, but 100 million, 5 years out. What needs to happen in the next 12 months in order for you to feel like you are on track to that 100 million?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Finally, Evan, you got that answer.
So, I am going to answer this totally transparent as I always would. So I have never created a budget in my entire life. I operate very much so on the YOLO life scale.
Yep.
That does not mean I'm irresponsible with money. It means that I live the experiences, and that is how I have conducted my life. And for us to be able to achieve those growth goals, we have a CFO we work with now, and I am being stretched to lengths I've never been stretched to, which I'm actually really excited about. I'm excited about the season that we're in. I'm learning a lot more, like deep levels into KPIs and metrics and numbers, budgets, and I'm being able to evaluate them on totally different scales than I ever have before. So for me, it's totally understanding the numbers inside and out, the metrics, and Kelly's added ingredient of making sure that the process that we have follows suit, so that there's a process for everything, so there's no missing link.
Nice.
That is the next 12 months summed up.
Yep.
Kelly, anything to add to that, or?
No, she nailed it. The CFO is an intricate piece of this, right? So we need her to be able to forecast properly.
Yep.
And I think I said that from day one that I walked through the doors.
Yep.
Yep.
Well,
and
and
so we're here.
you're right, and that's like, Billy Stevens, even the last time he was on the show, talked about that 60% of businesses that went bankrupt were making a profit, like because they're not forecasting, and they're not doing things right, and they can't afford their growth, and so they make the bad decision or the wrong hiring decision at the wrong time based on the wrong numbers. But if you can make the right decision at the right time based on the right numbers, now you've compounded that growth, and you're better able to grow your business in a strategic way.
Yep.
Love it.
And that's it. And that's what we're striving to get to. So
Cool. Well, we'll have to have you on in 5 years' time when you're at $100 million.
put it on the calendar.
Yes. Well, awesome. Been an absolute pleasure, ladies. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Probably our shortest episode to date.
Definitely.
But
Thanks for having us,
You're going to
guys.
come on in January too, I heard.
I'll
right?
be here in January.
yes, we'll do the full.
Recapping the year.
Yep.
Projecting the year ahead.
Yep. And I'm excited. That'll actually be a good one in January to talk about the experiences and the budgeting, right? Having never done a budget, to be like, shit, I have to do a budget from a CFO and they're making me do it. So it'll be an interesting episode. So we're looking forward to that.
I'm excited.
All right. Well,
Until next time.
Until next time.
Yes, until next time.
cheers.